So as we know, Mercedes have brought upgrades to Miami as part of a lower drag aero package to help them start getting on top of its issues. But whilst the team got off to a solid start to the weekend, having even topped the second practice session on Friday with George Russell, the team fell far away from the times Red Bull and Ferrari were able to achieve. So what went wrong? Well, that's what I'm going to discuss in this video, so let's get into it. Now before we begin, if you enjoy the video make sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more Formula 1 content. But let's get into it, and Wolff said that this weekend in Miami Mercedes would be conducting experiments on the W13. And on Friday Mercedes seemed to be getting everything right, with them seemingly able to run a ride height that helped the corner speed bounce free, whilst not losing too much aero performance. Combine that with improved straight line speed thanks to their upgrades such as a new rear wing to reduce drag, the team were managing to top the timesheets and actually had rivals Red Bull and Ferrari worried about them. But everything went wrong the following day, with the team losing all the pace it found on the Friday. As a result, Russell ended up being knocked out of Q2 in qualifying. Even though Hamilton managed to wrestle the car up to 6th, it was nowhere near the times Ferrari and Red Bull were setting. So what went wrong? Well, what was very evident was that the car was behaving very differently. I mean, on Saturday one thing that was very noticeable for me was the lack of rear grip. I mean, you could see Russell and Hamilton having to fight the car as the rear tyres just didn't want to hang on. This was especially the case in the first sector through the high speed corners and in the last few corners of the lap as well, with the drivers struggling to put the throttle down. So why was that? Well, the team were struggling with their tyres overheating, but they also had that issue on Friday but still topped the timesheets. But one thing that was very clear was that the porpoising returned. You could see the car bouncing through the corners and it left the drivers without any support or stability in the rear. So why did the porpoising get worse on the Saturday? Well, there could be a few reasons for this, one of them being that the team changed the car. Wolff admitted the team made a small change going into the morning practice session on the Saturday in a bid to optimise downforce levels it found on the Friday, but this just seemed to make the car worse, with both drivers only going 15th and 17th fastest. Wolff told Sky F1, "We have seen a performing car on Friday in P2 that was real. We were able to put it in a sweet spot, and in P3 we were completely off with the experiments we did." So as a result, the team decided to reverse this ahead of qualifying, but there was still so much bouncing on the W13, and this left the team with its usual struggles, and as a result they only ended up 6th and 12th. And Wolff added, "The car is still bouncing like a kangaroo, the drivers are not happy with it, and you can see that is the reason why we are off." So why did the bouncing stay? Well, introducing that new setup just before qualifying would not have helped Mercedes as it just seemed to confuse them, and the team ended up going very cautious on setup for qualifying as a result. Russell told Sky F1, "We thought we went pretty conservative with this setup to make sure we avoided any porpoising, but it seemed just as bad as we saw in P3. It was going all the way through the corners in turn 4 and 5, so you just couldn't attack into the braking zones, so it's not making a lot of sense at the moment." So perhaps Mercedes missed a trick when doing their setup changes ahead of qualifying. But one thing that could be playing a part in Mercedes seeing the violent bouncing return was simply track evolution. This is a new track surface, so over time the grip levels were always going to increase. And perhaps on the Friday when the track was still being rubbered in, the W13 was responding better to it and only suffered little porpoising. But as the grip increased into the Saturday, Mercedes found themselves back with their issues again, with the violent bouncing returning and making the car harder to control. But despite Mercedes' problems, Wolff feels the team have got a better handle on porpoising. He said, "We definitely have a better handling on what works. It's never one thing that's responsible for performance or non-performance, but we had a good car on Friday, then we worsened it a little bit. Some things we understand, others not." But guys, that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos, and until the next one, take care